Hi guys, thank you for tuning into my channel. This is your girl Tiffiany. This is a segment of how to get over a breakup. Are you ready? Let's do it. I want to make this video a more heart-to-heart situation because I'm listening to a lot of people going through certain situations, going through breakups and so forth. I even went through breakup and what's not, and I'm working on myself and what's not, and just going through the process and just trying to be better for me than how I was yesterday, especially for my mental health and so forth. So I'm here to just share with you on some tips and tricks, and know that I got you, and I'm your girl. I'm Tiffiany from the block. I just want to be real with you and so forth, and tell you what to do when you're going through it, and when you're really hurting, you know what I mean? And you're devastated and you're going through it, you're depressed and you don't know what the hell to do. So this is why I'm making this video, just in case if you you have no support and you just wanna you just want to uplift yourself. I know if you're doing the right thing, I got you. Regardless of the situation, I just want to make sure, and I just want to let you guys know that you will be a-okay. All right? You feel like somebody stuck a knife to your heart and what's not. It feels like you lost your best friend, somebody died and what's not. But I'm telling you, it's going to be okay. Listen, I'm saying it again, it's going to be okay. And listen, it gets real. You're trying to separate from that person, from everything, literally everything, mentally, physically, spiritually, financially, everything that you've been joined to the hip from, is basically gone. So you can imagine the hurt, you could imagine the pain. Listen, you really got to be careful who you give your heart to, because when you give your heart to somebody, they take something away, and then you give and you give and you give. So what's left for you to have when you give so much, right? Sometimes you just need that time for yourself to heal, to give yourself, to bounce back, and just to get to know yourself a little bit more. At the end of the day, I want you to be on this whole still got her groove back. You feel me? And nobody literally prepare you for this trauma, for this heartbreak, for this pain, And sometimes people sell themselves, sell their soul so much that sometimes they be so deep into it that they don't even know how to see themselves beyond their partner. If their partner go on, they get crazy and then some. At the end of the day, you give your partner so much power. You give your partner so much power to, you want to respect them. You give them power for your emotions and so forth. They take a lot from you. So they have the power when they get to know you really to destroy you. And baby, but it's how you move on and how you pick yourself up. That's all that matters. And that's how you're going to win and get through this. There's no shame if you started crying, if you get very emotional and stuff. It's okay to cry. Go ahead, cry, right? Get that shit out. And you know what? The breakup thing is so weird because, sometimes when you break up with somebody and then you're still texting them or whatever, they trying to cuddle you and so forth, vice versa, you trying to cuddle them. It goes through its phases. It goes through its really weak phases, but and then stuff happens and then you get drawn the hell back in. Sometimes you want reinsurance and stuff, what I did wrong. You start beating yourself up. You started trying to confine with a partner with certain level, or communicate with them a little bit different, and then you see yourself going back with them, and then you guys go back and forth 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, when you know you shouldn't be there in the first place. And of course, everybody, as they say, people leave for a reason, right? So you can't ignore those the stuff that got you there in the first place. And then like what I hate the whole like mixed messaging games, because sometimes when you like talking with the person and so forth, and then they care about you. Of course, their feelings not gonna like zip off from you like overnight, right? It happens, right? So with all of that, you talking and you reminiscing and so forth, and you going through memory lane or whatever, clicking, things can get misconstrued, because it can be in a situation that you may think that the person wants you back, and it probably that's not it. They're just checking up on you to make sure you're okay, and that's what it is. And then the fact that you're so vulnerable at this point, talking back and forth, you yeah, mixed messaging end up, your mind is end up being clouded. You can't think clear. Things, you hear one thing, but he's really not saying that. It gets crazy, right? And when it gets really, really more complicated, when you develop having like the same like friends, maybe even like workmates or associates, or you in the same organization, or like a church, or the same group, or like a certain type of clique, a certain type of club, and you got to see them like almost every week or every day. It's kind of crazy, and then there's no way you can avoid it, because you're always seeing them in the same organization, the same thing that you're doing. So it's always that area. So it tends to be tricky. There's the back and then the forth change for the relationship, given the simple fact that chances was put in place. Then they don't love you, man. They don't respect you. They want nothing to do with you. You're just somebody on their timeline. You know what I mean? So you, at the end of the day, you just gotta do right by yourself, and don't let people take your soul. Like, no, don't do that. It's crazy because it's crazy how your emotions play off like a lot into everything, because like one time you want to be with him, and it's right not to be with her or him, like whatever your preference is. It gets crazy, right? And if you just gotta learn to go through the process, you gotta learn to go through the process and just let them go for yourself, for your healing, for your self-respect, for your self-worth, for your morals, for your values, and so forth, because you don't want to get deep and deeper into certain things. And let me tell you something. Sometimes you gotta let the block button, be your best friend. You know, People might call you like dramatic or extreme or whatever, but who cares? Who cares if you gotta act like that? Because if you don't do that, you won't heal, right? Shit gets real. Like you start seeing the pop-ups. They start popping up everywhere on the social medias, on your Facebook, on your storyline, on your Instagram and so forth, and it's very tempting. So sometimes you need to do the right action and the force of action and make blocking your best friend, because if you don't do that, then kudos to you. You can get sucked in, and you got to just remove yourself from the space and then some, because temptation is real. Temptation is real. And you know, the most hurtful part is just to see them moving on with their lives, stalking them, seeing them with their other significant other, or whatever. Like, the emotional roller coaster with all of this, it's like very toxic. So to just heal yourself and go through the process of just starting over, I would recommend blocking, because you just have to. At the end of the day, it's only one you, and for your mental health, what we want is to guard your heart, guard your feelings, guard your soul, guard your dignity, and then some. Okay? So we just gotta go through the process and just love ourselves even more, and just try to do better. I know it's hard. I know it's easier said than done, but you just gotta go through the process and just do the work. And only if you're ready for it. Because if you're not ready for it, don't do it. All right, guys, so thank you for tuning into my channel, and don't forget to subscribe. I'll leave in the link below where you can get my store, where you can get the merch, where you can get everything. And I love you. Bye bye.